should I be on an 800 calorie diet? 800 calories a day? I said, no. Hi. Some people tell me that they buy BionicGym in order to lose weight. And I think, fabulous. Good on them. Let's go. But I also think sometimes, I hope they'll do it properly. I hope they'll take the decisions that will make life easier for them, such that the weight loss will come from fat, not from muscle, and that they'll be successful without too much effort and hardship. Okay? So BionicGym can really help you in your weight loss journey. I'm gonna give you a few little tricks and tell you a few things to avoid. And these are based on experimentation on myself, and whatever you've done, I've probably done it as well. More importantly, I've seen how people using BionicGym, what's good for them, and how they get success. And I want to share that with you. Okay? First thing, a few things about weight loss in general. First of all, do not attempt weight loss with just diet and no exercise. It's madness. Some people ask me, should I be on an 800 calorie diet? 800 calories a day? I said, no. That will be devastating for your body, and you will be heavier in a year's time, almost guaranteed. These yo-yo diets people go on, they go on a really strict diet. When your body is in starvation mode, of course, your body weight will go down. The problem is, it takes it from your muscles as well as from the fat. And then you can't keep it up naturally enough because your body is in starvation mode. You're driven to eat, and especially eat bad stuff, let's face it, so you can pile on fat again. The problem is that you've lost your muscle in this severe catabolic state, the severe state of breaking things down. You lose your muscle, and your muscle contributes a lot to your hormones, to kind of your physiological status, to your calorie burn every day in your everyday life, as well as your general health. In terms of health and well-being and longevity, there's a very strong argument that your muscles are the key determinant of this. Okay, so you need to maintain your muscles, and to do this, you need to eat protein. Okay, while you're in a catabolic state, eat protein. Okay, you need to be breaking things down. You want it to break down fat mainly. Your muscles are always churning. Okay, and you want to make sure that they're not just breaking muscle protein down, but they're also building it back up. And having plenty of protein in your system is key for that. This is more difficult for vegans. You will find a way. Just read the literature and make sure you get lots of protein in your diet. Okay. Second thing is you need to exercise. BionicGym will be brilliant for your legs. But you should do some press-ups as well or something like that. This only needs to take 1 or 2 minutes per day for your upper body, just to keep your muscle mass there. Okay, you do not want to lose anything. It will be difficult to gain muscle mass when you're in a catabolic state, when you're breaking things down, but you can maintain what you have fairly easily. It just requires 1 or 2 minutes of strength resistance exercises per day, and that can be as simple as doing some press-ups. Do them against a wall initially, or a table, a solid table to start off with. If you can't do 1 or 2 on the ground, you can do them against stairs as well. Okay, so you're doing that. That'll be good for your upper body. Your lower body, BionicGym will help enormously. It's probably all you need. And the reason for this is we preferentially target large muscle fibers, and these are the first ones to waste away. You need to do a little bit of regular exercise anyway, just in your everyday life. You need to do some walking, etc. Take the stairs if you can, but in walking you'll be using maybe 20-30% of your leg muscle fibers, but it's a different 20-30% to be using even at low level BionicGym, a moderate level. And BionicGym will target preferentially these kind of large muscle fibers that are the first to waste away. So keep them active, and BionicGym will help you with that. Now, in terms of the amount of calories you need to burn through exercise, most of your calorie deficit And at the end of the day, there are basic laws of physics. You need to be, burning more calories than you're taking in the global sense. So most of the calorie deficit should come from exercise. Okay, so it's obviously life is made much easier if you have a sensible, healthy diet. Okay, and which diet I'll talk about in a minute. But what you need to do is most of the calorie deficit should come from exercise. So you can say if you want to, have a calorie deficit of 500 calories per day. At least 250 of these should be from additional exercise, okay? If you want to go for 1,000 calorie deficit a day, at least 500, or preferably close to 1,000, okay? The reason for this is you need to do the exercise for long-term success, especially after you stop the dieting, otherwise you will rebound. The studies show that if you stop exercising with stopping the diet, your weight will rebound, but if you keep on exercising and you have a sensible diet, you should maintain a lot of the weight loss. Now, the amount of exercise you need to do though is huge, okay? Exercise is a difficult way to burn off calories, burn off fat. You literally have to burn it off. You breathe out the fat, okay? You breathe in oxygen, it's combined to your fat essentially, and you breathe it out as CO2 in this bit of water, okay? So you have to burn it off, and that's a slow process. It takes many hours, and the amount you need to be doing is enormous, okay? You can do this either short, sharp, high intensity training programs, and this is great for the body. It will train your body, improve your cardiovascular fitness, improve your general health, your well-being. That's all fabulous. But even a 1 hour session twice a week, that might just burn 1,000 to 1,500 calories, and that's brilliant. But 1,500 calories per week, you'd be months before you substantially dig into your fat reserves. So you really need to be aiming for thousands of calories per week through exercise, burning literally thousands of calories. Now, it's especially important. This is kind of why walking, for half an hour a day doesn't really help. It's great for health, but not in terms of weight loss. If you walk for half an hour or an hour, you might burn an extra 200 or 300 calories. That's not much, okay? And the other thing about it is you go to the gym, you go for your walk and you feel chuffed to yourself, your appetite has gone up because you've burned something, and you eat the chocolate bar or take the muffin on your way home. You've burnt 400 calories and you've just eaten an extra 400 calories in the muffin. And that's part of the problem with regular exercise. It's just difficult to get in enough of it before you're really into a substantial deficit. But always do exercise. Even small amounts are brilliant for you and brilliant for you long term, particularly how you metabolize blood sugar or glucose. And most people, almost everybody who has a big weight issue, will have an abnormal glucose metabolism, which makes losing weight much more difficult. I'll discuss that in another video. Okay, so you need to be burning thousands of calories per week. So the way to do this with BionicGym is just to leave it on for maybe 4 or 6 hours. Don't leave it on all day long, and the reason for this is your skin needs to breathe as well. Otherwise you could develop kind of a reaction to the pads. So you don't leave them on all day long, but leave BionicGym on for protracted periods of time at an intensity at which you can use it. You'll rapidly get used to it over 2 or 3 weeks, and you'll be able to increase intensity and forget about it. And the same way as I'm able to video now, and I'm using it as the equivalent to maybe just walking or something like that. So that's what you need to do. Leave it on over protracted periods of time. This particularly helps bring your blood sugar levels down to kind of normal levels. And when your blood sugar levels are high, you're in a, what you have will be deposited usually as fat. Okay, so leave it on and just build up the calorie burn hour after hour. Now, the second way to do it, and this is a great hack, is that you need to use it in the evening after your last meal, and don't eat anything else afterwards, okay? And again, it's related to blood glucose and your reserves and what happens overnight. You want to bring your blood glucose levels down. You want to deplete your muscles of their glycogen, that's a storage of carbohydrate, so that when your body is producing glucose during the night, it will be at a low, your glucose levels will be at a low and steady level. If you go to bed and your glucose levels are raised, you'll essentially just end up kind of depositing what you've eaten as fat. Okay? If you don't burn it at the time, it will end up as fat, more or less. Okay? So use it in the evening after your evening meal, say for 4 hours, watching TV, playing video games, taking care of the kids, writing your emails, doing your social media, whatever you like, okay? But do it after your evening meal and don't eat anything else afterwards or drink alcohol, okay? So, and the second thing is, it's great in the fasted state. And again, this is partly in a way that it affects your hormones, how it affects your metabolic reserves, how it affects how you generate energy for the body. A lot of people with overweight issues or weight issues tend to have an abnormal ability to generate energy for the body when they're not eating. So if you haven't eaten in a short while, your blood glucose levels go down. Especially happens if you've eaten something sweet, eaten something with sugars in it, eaten something like with processed wheat in it, anything like that, any what we call a quick carb. Okay, that flushes into the system, your blood glucose levels spike and then they plummet. And this plummeting really makes people hungry. Okay, and that needs to be avoided. Okay, one of the ways to do it, ironically enough, is with exercise. We'll modulate everything. Okay, that includes BionicGym, especially BionicGym, because it's really sugar hungry. But what happens with people who have weight issues is that they've got these fluctuations of insulin, hormone that controls blood glucose levels. Because the blood glucose levels are going up and down, this wreaks havoc with your appetite. Okay, so in order to, one of the ways kind of when your blood sugar levels are down, if you haven't got the capacity to mobilize fat easily and generate fuel that's available readily for your body, you'll just be really hungry again. You'll get this hangry sensation, or, a drive for food that's almost insatiable. You have to eat. Okay. By using BionicGym in its when you're fasted, this helps train your body to create this type of energy through different mechanisms, mobilize fat to create glucose and other substances that you can then burn. Okay, it will help get you into ketosis really quickly if you want to go on a keto diet. But more importantly, it gives you the capacity to generate ketones when required. Okay, so and the body can then burn ketones. In particular, the brain can use ketones. Normally, the brain is the main sucks up a lot of the glucose that you create, but it can also use lactate, which is brilliant, and it can also use ketones and a few other substances. But ketones easily cross the blood-brain barrier, whereas fat doesn't. Okay, so things have to. So the brain can't burn fat as its fuel. Fat has to be converted into other things, and a lot of what happens in drivers of appetite are dependent on how much the brain needs, what fuel it needs, and if you can generate other fuels by training the other metabolic mechanisms up, that's brilliant. And one way to do that is to use BionicGym in the fasted state. Okay, you're depleting your reserves of sugar that are there in your body most of the time. At first this is hard and you won't be able to exercise as intensely. So what? It's doing you 10 times the amount of good, okay? So use it in the fasted state, especially if you could have done it an evening session for 4 hours, say the previous evening, and then before breakfast or before lunch, skip breakfast if it's weekend, just use it for a few hours at the intensities at which you can use it. Initially, these may be intensity 20 or 30 in a pro setting maybe, but then afterwards you might be able to increase it further. Okay, train with it, play around with it, find out how you can push yourself. Okay, find out what works for you, how you'll use it. Okay, so these are little tricks. Now, what type of diet should you use with BionicGym? Some people, if they use BionicGym enough, don't need to diet, especially if you don't have a huge amount of weight to lose. But, so you can just use it for hours and your weight will trend downwards. However, all these things are naturally accelerated. That's why on our website, etc., we always say kind of diet plus exercise equals success. So diet plus exercise, it just accelerates everything. But the diet shouldn't be extreme, okay? In terms of calories anyway. Most of the calorie burn, calorie deficit needs to be, if I'm repeating myself, it's because this needs to be rammed home really clearly. Most of the calorie deficit should come from additional exercise. Now, which diets work really well? So intermittent fasting is brilliant for everybody, just for its general health. And again, it's because we're cycling through our body's reserves. When you're not eating, your insulin levels will go down, your blood sugar levels will go down, you begin to go into ketosis, there may be a protein deficit as well, and all these things together are just really good from a health perspective to keep your body humming over, okay? And naturally enough, if you're eating in a shorter window, that's brilliant. Okay, so that's intermittent fasting. That's always good for everybody. It's best to skip to evening meal rather than breakfast. Although myself, I find it much easier to skip breakfast and have a time period where you're eating is shorter. What about these 5-2 and all the rest? Yeah, they're all brilliant. You'll find BionicGym is more difficult to do during your fasting days. Fasting, inverted commas, in 5-2, but most of the time people are actually eating sometime. So they are all really good. A low carb diet is brilliant. BionicGym preferentially burns up sugars because of the type of muscle fiber we target. Okay, so anything that's kind of low carb, BionicGym will accelerate. Okay, we can reduce your carbs in the bloodstream, reduce your blood sugar levels really well. So that's just fabulous. Ketosis. BionicGym can accelerate you into this because it will really just dig into your sugar reserves, your glycogen reserves. Okay, low protein diet, never do that. Keep well away from anything with low protein. What other diets are there? Paleo diets, yeah, absolutely, they suit you. Low fat diet, if you've done it before and you find it really suits you, that's fine. If you haven't done any diet or you're unsure, go for one of the lower carbs or type diets. It's probably more sensible. You need to eat lots and lots of protein and even more fiber. So you need to double the amount of fiber that you eat. And if you can eat your fiber first before your meal, before anything, that helps modulate, it helps kind of flatten the surge of glucose that goes through if you're eating, your system if you're eating carbohydrates. Carbs and things like wheat, sugars, and nearly all processed food will have some of these. And in America, high fructose corn syrup, which is horrendous. So you definitely need to exercise, but if you just eat fiber beforehand, this will help an awful lot. And what I mean by that is eat some nuts beforehand, before your meal. Eat some raw vegetables, brilliant. Eat some leaves, have a salad first, okay? Before anything that might have carbs or sugar in it, just eat some nuts. Almonds are brilliant. And this will modulate your appetite as well. It will mean that you won't be so hungry in 2 hours' time. So you won't have to eat, which helps. Okay, so there are a few things to look out for, and appreciate you listening to this. Really do hope that you lose lots of weight, or as much weight as you want to lose, to get healthy, to look good, to feel great. So get your exercise in, some strength training for your upper body, your BionicGym to really burn those calories and keep your leg musculature in good nick. And enjoy it. you know, enjoy the process and enjoy the journey as well. And don't let it consume you every moment, every thought. I know a lot of people, they just think about weight an awful lot. You need to stop thinking about it and doing an awful lot more about it, okay? So, good luck to you, and let us know how you get on. There are forums as well, so the forums are brilliant. So BionicGym forums is even a women's only forum where people can discuss private issues in our general community as well, open to guys and girls. So go on to that, share your good stories, share your tips, share your questions, look for inspiration, help other people out. You know, people are in it together, and they'll help you. It's an extraordinarily nice community. So thank you, and thanks to everybody in the community as well, and good luck in your journey. This is Dr. Louis from BionicGym, and on behalf of myself and all the team, thank you and good luck.